Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, January 28, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you guys utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below, let me know what the has been like in your ear recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so we're going to be looking at this post that was made on our social media platform today, highlighting the fact that it's the anniversary of the massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck along the Orient Fault Zone right there between Jamaica, Cuba, and the Cayman Islands right here. And we remember that day like it was yesterday. Some of us, especially across Western Jamaica, that was a little after 2 p.m. on January 28, 2020, right before we had COVID. So we had to highlight this, and we posted a video highlighting it and the effects from some Jamaicans as well on our other social media platforms. So please check it out. And do you remember this earthquake? What was it like for you if you do remember it? I remember it quite clearly. And we definitely have some comments here from some persons who actually remember it. We have, well, first of all, we have Travel Jam Noah stating negative, they don't remember it. But Pretty stating yes, I do. When I talk about it, people ask which earthquake that and when that. Waterfall stated yes, but I was safely in England. 7.7 magnitude is big. Lucky the quake was where it was, out at sea. We even have some comments here from our followers on our Instagram page, like Dante Heartfilia stating, still remember this day. It was a very powerful one for sure. The phone lines were knocked out for hours. Later that same day, all supermarket in Mobile was jammed packed. On a Tuesday evening, traffic everywhere, and worse, COVID was right around the corner. And we even have ta._j21 stating, I remember being in English class doing the tri-weekly test, till me just see the water bottle on my desk a shake. Then me shout out earthquake, the entire class lift up. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next not the next 7 days. We're going to be looking at what the US Climate Prediction Center's Global Tropic Hazards Outlook is showing, considering that this just came out today by the forecaster Pa, if I'm not butchering that name. So we're looking at right here the Atlantic into the Caribbean for the time period from February 5 to February 11, as well as February 12 to February 18. And we have Jamaica right here on the top edge of the moisture. We see the greens represent moisture. The moisture is represented by the light to dark shades of greens, anywhere from 50 to 80% chance. And we can see that there's a high chance for rainfall across especially the Eastern Caribbean over these coming days. We also see there's going to be a high chance for rainfall across portions of the Southwestern Caribbean, Central America as well. Either way, Jamaica is in the clear. We don't see the browns that represent below average rainfall. We don't see the yellows that represent, or the oranges that represents above normal temperatures. So we're in the middle. We're not going to be getting in on anything too dramatic over the next couple of weeks as we head into the February 18 time period. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at the next 7 days according to what the Euro model is showing. So we're just going to be going on to the next 168 hours. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here as we look across Jamaica for what we see here on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens that represents inches of rainfall. So we can see that as we head into Wednesday, definitely see some moisture across the waters to the south and east of us. Some of this definitely going to be on land for sure. By the end of the day on Wednesday, we see rainfall stretching from the east to the west across the island. Thursday morning rainfall across the north and the east. Then by the afternoon, spreading across sections of some central western parishes. Friday, still northeastern parishes with the rainfall. By afternoon, however, definitely across sections of central western parishes again. Saturday, not seeing much of anything, maybe some isolated spots of rainfall across the east. Then by afternoon, across southern and western Jamaica. Sunday, not seeing much during the morning, but during the afternoon, definitely across sections of maybe some south central and eastern parishes. And then heading into Monday, now what do we see? Some moisture across northeastern parishes. That's what the afternoon has in store. Well, not seeing much of anything for the afternoon, but we're going to be stopping right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for Tuesday, February 4. And what do we see across Jamaica? Not much of anything, but we do see some moisture to the southwest of us, some moisture to the south of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Let us match this latest Euro model to the latest GFS model. Let's see if we have some consensus. So as we head into Wednesday, definitely seeing that moisture to the south and east of us like what the Euro was showing. Then by Wednesday afternoon, well, we're seeing some moisture still across the northeast. Don't see it widespread across central and western Jamaica like what the Euro was showing. Thursday, northeastern parishes again in the morning. Afternoon, maybe some dots of green right here off the south coast. We'll see how that actually unfolds. Friday morning, 12Z, which is actually 7 a.m. We see moisture across the northeast and the eastern portion of the island. Then by afternoon, the western end getting in on the moisture. Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon, eastern Jamaica with the moisture. Southern Jamaica in the late afternoon or early evening hours. Sunday, northeastern parishes again in the morning. Maybe section of central and western Jamaica again during the afternoon. Monday, northern parishes with the rainfall. Monday afternoon, south central and western Jamaica. And we're going to be stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for Tuesday, February 4 as well. And clearly we see that moisture that the Euro was showing across the waters to the southwest of us, affecting section of Central America, across the waters to the south of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. And we also see an abundance of moisture across the eastern end of the island. Not seeing that much on the Euro for the same time period. We'll see exactly what unfolds as time goes on. Either way, in terms of the accumulated precipitation forecast maps, both maps here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Tuesday, February 4. And we can clearly see that the most rainfall over the next 7 days should be where we have all of these. We're talking about the reds into the burgundies that represents 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, the purples into the pinks that represents 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, and the peach colors that's 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. And we can clearly see what's going to be in store for us. Well, the most in the way for rainfall clearly should be across northeastern Jamaica, eastern Cuba, the Dominican Republic, especially the northeastern side, eastern Puerto Rico, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, eastern, southern and western Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize right there. And we can see all of this moisture stretching all the way over into southern Venezuela, section of Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana getting in on the mix in terms of the rainfall too. And it's not only the Euro model that's showing this, but even the GFS is showing something similar regarding the rainfall that's expected. So some of these areas could definitely pick up some isolated flash flooding for sure, especially where we have those dark reds into the purples and the pinks that represent some tremendous amount of rainfall. Either way, in terms of what's expected across Jamaica, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are still adamant that the most rainfall over the next 7 days should be plaguing northeastern parishes. We're referring to St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, the Euro going all the way up to 52 millimeters of rainfall across Portland, the GFS even more so regarding the numbers, about 54 millimeters, but most of it seems to be offshore according to the GFS. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Some of this rainfall could definitely spill into section of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas as well, so be on the alert. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see this blue spike line right here associated with a cold front stretching all the way from the northern portion of North Atlantic all the way down into the northern Bahamas and Florida. To the east of that cold front, we have broken orange lines right here associated with a trough right there to the northeast of the Bahamas. And we can see the ridge of high pressure up here to the northeast across the northeastern section of North Atlantic that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities for sure. First of all, we see the clouds associated with that frontal system, reaching down into portion of Florida and northern Bahamas. And to the east of that, we see the clouds associated with the trough right here to the northeast of the Bahamas. And if we take a close look, we can see the low level flow of the low to mid level clouds pushing from east to west across the Caribbean, all courtesy of the easterly flow of trade wind brought about by the ridge of high pressure right here to the north. We'll be talking about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Tuesday, January 28, 2025. If you remember yesterday's video, we highlighted that we wouldn't have seen much activity in the morning, but during the afternoon, we might have gotten in on some afternoon rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes. And we know central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Catherine, Clarendon, and Manchester. Western parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawny, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And if you remember yesterday's video, we also highlighted that both the Euro and the GFS were showing some blows out to sea to the east of us, but we weren't sure if some of that might have made it westward on land, and so it did, because we definitely had some activity across eastern Jamaica as well. We're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. And we can see it all here being represented by the visible satellite images that were posted here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, as well as on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can definitely see the flow of low level clouds across sections of eastern Jamaica during the afternoon, and the buildup of clouds mainly across sections of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and even portions of St. Catherine for sure. Those were the spots that were highlighted, and some of these clouds that were affecting portions of St. Thomas and Portland definitely pushed westward to affect sections of Kingston, St. Andrew, and even as far north as possibly St. Mary. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images before all was said and done with the day, we can definitely make out the clouds pushing into section of Kingston and St. Andrew as well before we lost that sunlight. And if we take a look at the infrared close-up satellite images, we can still make out the milky whitish colors representing the cloud cover still across section of the island, mainly section of southern Jamaica for sure as we speak. But nothing in the way of the cumulonimbus clouds at all. No high cold cloud tops across the island, not one bit. And if we take a look here at See Jamaica's YouTube channel, this is showing halfway through at around 5:33 p.m. and we can see people in their vehicles going about their business. We can see people with their umbrellas as well to signal that we were indeed getting in on some amount of rainfall across the corporate area today. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, you can visit See Jamaica on YouTube, because they have these live streams out there for free, and they are planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out. So you can definitely see how clear it is looking at the hills of St. Andrew. Roads are soaking wet for sure. They were definitely getting in on some amount of rainfall across halfway through for sure this afternoon. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of how we had the rainfall today for sure. It's not 100% accurate, but it does paint quite a picture of how we had the rainfall across the east and across the west for sure today. We definitely have some comments here from some of our subscribers as well as some of our followers. First, we have Warren Barton 5374 stating, had a good shower in Greater Portmore this evening. Sylvia Daly -FQ1CY stating, I just hope get some more. My sister lives in St. Anne. She's getting rain showers from Saturday till now. And I guess that's it for the comments. Let us see what's happening right now according to the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website. Oh, look at that. The latest still image is showing that as of 0035 UTC, which is actually about 7:35 p.m. So this just came out 5, 10, 15 minutes ago, considering that it's 7:50 p.m. right now. We do see maybe some convection taking place right here to the southwest of the island, as well as to the southeast of the island. Look at these high cloud tops, blues, greens, yellows. Something trying to take shape as the activity pushes towards the west as it passes to the south of us. Who knows, maybe we might get in on some more action tonight. It's just a waiting game. Let us see what's happening on the Cuban Doppler radar. Well, looks to be delayed. The latest is 2:50 p.m. But we can definitely see when that rainfall was coming into section of St. Thomas and Portland earlier today. And we can also make out the isolated shores. That section of St. Catherine, Manchester and St. Elizabeth were getting in on too, as represented by the greens into the yellows that we know are representing moderate to strong or heavy rainfall. Taking a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar imagery, we can make out some rainfall across eastern Cuba, some rainfall across the western peninsula of Haiti. Not seeing much activity across northeastern Jamaica though. And regarding the Cayman radar, not seeing much activity across southern Cuba, western Jamaica, or the Cayman Islands, but just some sprinkles right here to the southwest of Grand Cayman. And if we take a look at what's happening right now, according to See Jamaica's YouTube channel, we can clearly see people in their vehicles going about their business. Nothing significant taking place in terms of a bad weather at this time. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, begins to about 25 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Wednesday, temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, and we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some slight orange colors, and we know that is representative of about 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of January across Jamaica is around 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and when that's converted to degrees Celsius, that's around 30.2 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30.2 degrees Celsius to 32.2 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Wednesday. And unfortunately, we have some maintenance outage advisories out for Wednesday, January 29, and we have to point these out from my JPS Online's Twitter page, because you know that when we have power outages, it can definitely make the heat feel even worse because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So if you live or work in these areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in these areas, let them know that a power outage is coming their way on Wednesday. We're referring to Salt River Road and Sandy Bay, as well as Inverness, if I'm not butchering that place's name, in the parish of Clarendon from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Also Mullines Mews in St. Andrew from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Cottage to Little London in Westmoreland from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Clifton Ridge in Hanover from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are also referring to Boxwood as well as Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And finally, we have Olivier Road Apartments in St. Andrew from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Either way, if tomorrow is a bit too hot for you, we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It states here, when outside, seek shade. Eat fresh. Try eating cold foods such as salads and fruits. Rest. Make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak. Take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough the importance of staying hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water. Put away those sugar drinks. Drink water instead. Taking a look at the dry air map, we know that the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom. That's the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the whites within those reds. And we can clearly see that there's a lot of dry air stretching all the way from Africa across the main development region through the Caribbean as we speak. And the driest areas right here off the coast of Africa in the reds and the whites for sure. And we know the dry air can definitely put a cap on the Atlantic, definitely making it harder for it to rain. And we've been getting on some amount of moist air across the Caribbean for sure, which explains the rainfall that we've been receiving recently. We can even make out some of the moisture right here across the waters to the southeast of us. So who knows, maybe more rainfall is in the forecast tonight into tomorrow. But regarding the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on, let's see, that is showing Tuesday. Let me see if I can find the updated one showing Wednesday. Is it gonna show me Wednesday? Here we go. So 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Let's update these images. So for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, we can clearly see that Jamaica is right here in the clear. So too North America, the Bahamas, much of the Caribbean, Northern South America, and Central America, because all the browns that represent the Saharan dust should be across portions of the main development region right here. And we're indeed grateful that it's not across our portion of the basin, because you know that the Saharan dust can definitely cause very hazy skies, not to mention trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons. So we're glad that we're not getting that much Saharan dust for our forecast. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we're starting to see the waves calm down in and around the greater Antilles. More of the lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues for sure. They represent anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave height. And we can see that the highest waves should be right here to the north of Colombia, to the north of Panama, with all of these purples into the Burgundies. We also see some high wave heights right here to the east of the Caribbean, and that's because of the winds that are expected. Clearly we see the yellows right here to the north of Colombia. That represents anywhere from 25 to 30 knots coming in from the east northeast. We also see some of these yellow colors right here to the east of the Caribbean too, but we also see the bright greens that represent, you know, around 15 to 20 knot winds, and we can clearly see that for the most part the winds will be coming in from the east, curving west southwestward across the southwestern Caribbean right there, coming in across the greater Antilles in a northeasterly or east northeasterly fashion, curving northward towards Texas around the western portion of the Gulf of Mexico. And if we take a look at the close-up of Jamaica regarding our winds, we can clearly see more of an east northeasterly or a northeasterly flow coming in. And who knows, maybe we might get in some isolated shores across the northern portion of the island with that relief rainfall, maybe tonight into tomorrow. You can also see the least amount of winds that are expected across the southern and southwestern end of the island. So who knows, maybe some isolated afternoon rainfall, some diurnal convection across those spots, maybe some strong winds passing through as well. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Either way, in terms of the upper level winds, they should be coming in from the west, if not the west southwest, across the island tomorrow. So something similar to what we're seeing right now with the high cold cloud tops that are shearing off. Look at this. You can see some thunderstorm bursts, and they're starting to shear off towards the east and northeast. So that's what I'm referring to. If we get some thunderstorms, those high cold tops will be pushed up towards that direction. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, this map here from the Euro and this map here from the GFS are both showing 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And what do both of them show? What do both of them have in common? Some blues represent rainfall across eastern St. Thomas as well as sections of Portland for sure. At that time, we can also see moisture to the south of the island. We'll see how that goes. Then by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, we clearly see that the same spots are going to be getting in on the rainfall, but the Euro is trying to incorporate some of that rainfall across Westmoreland, southern St. James, southwestern Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon. The GFS is showing the blues, but it's more so offshore to the south of Manchester. We'll see how that goes. Either way, in terms of the accumulated precipitation forecast maps, both maps here from the Euro and the GFS are adamant that the most rainfall within the next 24 hours should be across northeastern Jamaica for sure, Portland into eastern St. Thomas, only up to 0.28 of an inch of rainfall across Portland according to the GFS. The Euro up to at least 0.26 of an inch of rainfall. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of January, and in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 20 millimeters of rainfall, and in Montego Bay we usually receive up to 3 inches of rainfall. And if you'd like to find out what your parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of January, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website will show you that information. And you can use this graphic here to convert that, because you know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. So you do the math yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus your attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, We have a lot of moisture passing through the northeastern portions of South America, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, eastern Venezuela. So too section of the Windward Islands getting on some moisture passing to the south of Jamaica, pushing into Central America as well. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images, let's see what's happening across the Leeward Islands in and around Puerto Rico. Well, we're not seeing much activity right now, or does this map want some reloading? Alright, so let's reload it while we check out the Barbados radar. Not seeing much activity across Dominica, Martinique, or Guadeloupe right now, but we do see some isolated shores passing through St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada. Lots of moisture passing to the south of Barbados as we speak, pushing westward. We can also see some rainfall passing through Tobago. Can't see much on the Trinidad radar. Let's see if we can make it out. Alright, here we go. Lots of activity passing through the Trinidad mainland as well. Some of this rainfall coming into portions of Venezuela too. And if we take a closer look, we can see some isolated shores affecting section of Belize as well as northern Guatemala. Let's see what's happening on the wider view of Doppler radar images showing the northeastern Caribbean. There we go. We can definitely see some isolated shores to the east of Antigua and Barbuda, to the east of Puerto Rico. Let's load these images from earlier today. Let's see what we missed. Maybe some isolated shores across western Puerto Rico and the inland areas of some central areas in Puerto Rico. But regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, both maps here from the EURA and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on a Wednesday. And we can clearly see that the most rainfall over the next 24 hours should be plaguing these areas that are shaded in oranges and reds that could get up to 1 inch of rainfall. You know, we're talking about French Guyana, Suriname, Guyana, eastern Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua for sure. We can also get in a small amount of rainfall affecting sections of northern Honduras, Belize, sections of Jamaica that we mentioned earlier, eastern Cuba, sections of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, maybe the southern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, maybe isolated shores in store for portions of Puerto Rico, anywhere from Guadeloupe southward, Dominica. We're talking about Martinique as well, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and even sections of Barbados. And you can clearly see that both the EURA and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.